So now I have all this room to be a channel and a conduit for, healing and love and joy. And I have never felt better. I'm just like, just happy happy all the time, and feeling like I want to help other people walk into that for themselves. My name is Sinclair, and I'm a member of the work exchange team at Gaia Sagrada. This is my first work exchange retreat. I was here as a guest in the previous retreat, and I loved being here so much that I decided to stay. And I'm actually coming back in the fall for extended period of time to work some more because I love being here. It's so awesome. Researching ayahuasca and plant medicine for a few years. I heard about it first when I was in college in my anthropology class, and didn't really think too much about doing it myself for quite a long time. And then I had a few friends who had done some plant medicine and really thought it would be something that would be awesome for me. And in January I came down to South America and was kind of at the end of a 2-year dismantling of my old life. I had come through a process of shedding things that didn't serve me anymore. Job. I quit my career. I left Austin, where I had lived for 20 years almost, and was sort of making a foundation, a space to build a new life. I didn't know exactly what that was going to be, but I knew I wanted to travel. I make websites and I work remotely, so I had worked on setting that up for quite some time, and I ended up in Ecuador. And in January, and I turned 40 here on my birthday in Baños, and just really fell in love with Ecuador. It's there's something about this country that is just very magical and felt like home to me. And when I got back to the States from that trip, I knew I wanted to come back to Ecuador, and so I started looking for plant medicine here, just thinking maybe there's this place, and that's how I found Gaia Sagrada. So the moment I arrived for my retreat, everyone here, the staff, the other people that were attending, we had a really wonderful energy. Everyone was really positive. We all really connected and became really close really fast. And I knew immediately that it was going to be my new family. It was, everyone comes here because they are looking to become more themselves and to heal some things that we're carrying that prevent us from being our authentic selves. And everyone was all in my retreat. It was like watching people, myself included, go through these ceremonies and step into the unknown and take this plant medicine where we just, the miraculous things that happen when you take this medicine is, I still can't believe it. That's why I want to be here to help people take it, because it was so healing for me. Personally, I had I've been working on myself for a long time, and I was really ready to receive the teachings of the medicine. And I asked for, self-love. That was the first thing I asked for in my first ceremony, and I got it. And now, ever since my retreat, I've just been, I said this yesterday, or a couple days ago in my San Pedro retreat, and my ceremony was that I was able, through these medicine ceremonies and through the healing of others, watching other people go through their healing process and their own vulnerability, I've been able to have space for myself. I've never had space inside where I didn't feel like I needed to fill it with something external. And now I have let go of, some of the pain around my father's death and some of the pain around the masculine wounds that I've had, and filled myself with self-love. So now I have all this room to be a channel and a conduit for, healing and love and joy. And I have never felt better. I'm just like, just happy all the time, and feeling like I want to help other people walk into that for themselves. I've overcome, addiction to alcohol, and overeating and, you know, food, sex, you name it, I tried to fill that hole, and now I don't have the hole anymore. It's just a space where things can flow. It's really nice. I turned into a spider. I did on one of my ayahuasca journeys, it was the extra ceremony with the jungle shamans, and when I was little, we had a lot of like daddy long legs in Texas where I grew up, and I was always really afraid of spiders. Sometimes you would see a tarantula or something, and I never felt any connection to them. And when she sort of brought that to the front and was like, "You are a spider," I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be a spider. The spiders are spindly and scary." And she was like, as Salvador always says, "In your own style." So then I realized, like, oh wow, I am a spider. Spiders are, you know, these connective, the spider is a symbol of feminine creative power, and is a symbol for patience and, you know, building what you need and waiting for things to come to you. I also make websites for a living, which is really funny, but I was having this beautiful experience during Aya of being on top of the Maloka, which is a giant spider web, and just sort of dancing up there as a fuzzy, cute, loving rainbow spider, like shooting rainbows out of my legs at people who were purging and stuff. Like, so now I have this thing that I do, which everyone thinks is hilarious because I'm from Texas. So I'll be like, pew, 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 like rainbow guns. But yeah, I mean, I had no connection to spiders before. And then I saw them all over the property during my retreat. Like the second day I was here, there was a huge tarantula in front of my room. And I was asking everyone else, like, what? Are you seeing all these spiders? And they're like, no. And Salvador told me, you know, yes, they're coming to see you because you need to learn something from them. So getting connected to, you know, an animal in the spirit, like totem animal, has been really powerful for me because I've been not only having that during subsequent ceremonies where I can kind of hold on to that. It's like when things get really hard, I'll kind of envision myself in a little mandala web sitting in a lotus flower, like, I'm riding this wave, you know? So it's been a centering thing for me, but also getting to explore the meaning behind it and what it has meant, you know, in history, and has been really powerful because it's things that I really need to know. So it's awesome. And I'm a very connective person, and I'm really great at finding, you know, oh, I know this person who does this thing and this person needs this thing, and like bringing them together. So she really showed me my strengths in that way, which was a huge surprise. So it's so rewarding. I can't believe that I get to do this every day. I am just every day filled with total gratitude, and I'm in awe of the work that people are doing and the vulnerability that people are showing. It's such a blessing to get to know the people who have been here for a long time who are working, and then the new people every time that come in. It's like a new family. And there's people from all over the world here. You know, there's people from Ireland, we have someone from Switzerland, we have someone from Trinidad, Slovakia, Germany, Britain, the United States. There's just people coming from all over the world who are being called by this medicine. And to get to not only get to know them and, you know, get to be in ceremony with them, but also to help. One of the best things that I've done since I've been here was being a helper on the ayahuasca ceremony and getting to take care of them the way that someone took care of me when I did it. And I like that's been my favorite thing so far, is just getting to hold space for people and talk to them. And I'm also teaching yoga, which has been wonderful. Getting to give that gift to the clients, and you know, having been through it myself, also knowing how much you need sometimes just someone to talk to. I'm a big hugger, so I'm constantly hugging everyone. And yeah, it's so even like, you know, we all clean, we all cook, we all take care of the grounds, and, you know, do gardening, and every job is a meditation. It's just a beautiful family here. That's the only way I can describe it. Yes. Yeah. My favorite job at Gaia is yoga. I am in the process of becoming a certified yoga teacher. I will, when I return in September, have my 200-hour certification. And I have been doing my pre-work here at Gaia for my class. So I've gotten to teach 3 classes here so far, and I have been building them specifically for each group, knowing, kind of getting to feel the energy of the group, how they're feeling that day, and building a practice for that has been so rewarding and awesome. And I get to play cool music for them, and it's been amazing. It's just such a symbiotic thing because it's also helping me learn the kind of practices that I want to build for people. I really believe that the 12-day program at Gaia Sagrada, like every ceremony builds on the previous ceremony. So you have your first ayahuasca ceremony and you're kind of like, whoa. Like just walking into that world and experiencing what that feels like, it takes some time to process, and she gives you messages and is explaining things pertinent to you in the way that you need to hear. And the ayahuasca ceremonies with Salvador and Amalia are so beautiful. The songs that they sing and the flow of the ceremony and the respect for the water and food and just the care that they put in, and Paulina as well. She does the one at the end, and each one of those are so beautiful and special. And I don't know that the San Pedro ceremony that comes after is the more masculine energy, and for me, I needed to get that feminine, that love for myself to be able to go into San Pedro and really heal what I needed to heal. So I think, everyone loves the sweat lodge because you bring both of those together. But every single ceremony that I had, I loved for a different reason. Like I honestly don't have a favorite. I needed all of them to get to the place of feeling whole in myself. Yeah. And I couldn't have done it had they not been in the order that they're in. Like there's a very specific reason for how things are here, and it works. I mean, I cannot believe that I'm still sort of in awe of how amazing it has been to come out of just doing one retreat. And granted, I was not resistant at all. I was really ready to hear what the medicine had to teach me, but and it's not, I'm not saying like I have plenty of growth work left, but for me to get to a place where I'm not carrying pain or shame about my body with me anymore, and now I actually have room to fulfill my own life purpose, and being able to explore the medicine from that whole like loving place in myself, I can't even imagine what is going to happen next. Ayahuasca makes me really nauseous, but I have not purged, vomited on it. And so I know that for me, for the first couple of hours, or maybe even longer, it's probably going to be really uncomfortable. And I almost get jealous of people who are purging because, when you're nauseous, all you want to do is throw up. And if you can't, it's like, I'm learning that maybe it's not going to make me purge in that way, but that I have other purges. So sometimes I have skin, like I'll start to itch or I get a rash or something. My purge is dancing. So I tend to start wiggling around when I start feeling better. And I think learning that one of the challenges is making sure that you are not having expectations of purging, of your experience, of your visions. You have to surrender to the medicine, and you have to trust the medicine and trust that what you need is what you're going to get. You're going to get, even if it's not what you want. So I think that part has been the most difficult with ayahuasca. For San Pedro, the first time I took it, it was really uncomfortable because it was so masculine, and I realized, wow, this energy is not welcome in my body. And so what is that about? And I had to kind of walk into that, and then I realized, I have this really deep wound around masculine energy that has to do with, my history, my dad, and relationships that I've been in. And so being able to express that to Salvador and ask for healing around that and ask to let that go, as soon as I let it go, I started feeling amazing. So, wow. I think something that I've been telling the guests too is when you feel uncomfortable, you should try to walk into that. It's really hard because you want to avoid pain, you want to avoid struggle, and most people are like, oh man, I can't wait to throw up, But if you're feeling that discomfort, that's because the medicine is working on something in you, and you need to go into that and get it out. And you know, that may come out in whatever way for you. There's no right way to purge. Some people get, you know, sick in their stomach, some people get other, you know, they cough, they yawn, whatever. It's like, just let it be what it is. That's probably my best advice for the difficult parts. And breathe, family. For my personal growth, I came here with a very specific thing in mind that I wanted to heal, and I wanted to love myself the way that I am. I had, you know, spent most of my life looking for some sort of external validation, and really not giving myself and my body, being really critical of my body and being really critical, like I'm not good enough, all of these things. And I knew that that was what was holding me back from becoming the authentic version of myself that I knew I had in me. I was just still having this, you know, I've been doing meditation, yoga, all these things, taking care of my health. I don't drink alcohol anymore. Stuff that I had done to get to this point, but I still had this like, just little thing. It was like, you know, your body's not good enough. And I asked Ayahuasca, you know, at the, when you come to a retreat, we talk a lot about the medicine before we take it, and what you should do and how you should approach the medicine and what you should bring into the ceremony. And I built an intention around it. I was just like, can you help me love my body, and can you help me love myself fully? And she gave that to me. Over in that first ceremony, but over and over again, I kept getting affirmed, and it works. I have never felt better about my body. I know how special it is to have a human body at all. The gratitude that I feel for my mobility and my health and the person that I am in this vessel is immense. And it has radically changed my life, because I now know that I have all these empathetic abilities that I was kind of misusing before because I didn't understand how to do them right. And Ayahuasca taught me the difference between empathy and compassion. And she showed me that empathy is beautiful and that it is important to be able to empathize with other humans, but a lot of times empaths take on things from other people and carry it with them and hold on to it, and it's not yours. And instead, what you can do is make sure that you protect yourself and you allow yourself to feel and empathize for someone, but instead of holding that, you give it back to them in compassion, which to me is a revelation, because now I feel like I have a superpower and I know how to use it. And before, I was just like a girl in a spider suit, not knowing like, how do I use this right? You know, I knew that vulnerability and empathy are superpowers, but I was still struggling with using them in a way that empowered me and also empowered, you know, the person that I'm connecting with. And coming here, and not only the medicine, but the family here, and getting to learn from Salvador and Amalia and Paulina and Sophia and like all the shamans. I told Salvador the other day, I said, every time I hang out with you, I get smarter. And I really believe that. Like, doing a San Pedro ceremony with Salvador, not only you get to get up and talk to him about your issues, but you hear him speak to each person, and every time it's like, oh my God, that's for me. And it just is this exponential healing of the whole group, because you're watching people heal themselves, you're also getting more healing. I feel like a better person since I came here. I've been here for a month and I feel like I could do anything I want in this life. And I don't know anywhere else, any Western medicine that can give you that, honestly. And a lot of it is yes, it is the medicine, but we are the medicine. This family here is the medicine, this community is the medicine. Christine, I love Christine. She obviously has made this beautiful space. I mean, none of this would be possible without her. But one of the coolest things about coming here is that she's around. She's accessible. You can talk to her. She does talks with the guests, you know, on a regular basis throughout the retreat. And then our last ceremony is the Walk of Power on San Pedro, through her favorite parts of the grounds and some of the most beautiful places at Gaia Sagrada. And it is watching her be in the role of, you know, shaman, medicine woman is really amazing. It's the same sort of feeling, you know, as I have with Salvador, which is just listening to her share her wisdom and knowledge with people when they're struggling and healing on her magic carpet is really, really beautiful. And honestly, some of my favorite parts are just hanging out with Christine after ceremonies. She's so funny and just fun. She's like a fun, cool lady. And I really like hanging out with her. And yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. She's an awesome San Pedro shaman, and her ceremony is really beautiful and fun. You get to be outside all day, and it's really wonderful because it's the last ceremony of the retreat and everybody knows each other really well, and it's kind of just this beautiful celebration of everybody walking into their power. You know, it's just, this place is so magical, and it's a huge reflection of her as a person, I think. Yeah, she's awesome. How do you know if plant medicine is for you? And my answer to that is, if you are watching this video, Gaia Sagrada is for you. I had some moments in the months leading up to coming to Gaia Sagrada where I was really nervous about taking ayahuasca, the physical, like going through the process of the healing. And I would read the reviews, and the one that stood out to me the most was, if you're here, you're reading this, she's calling you. Ayahuasca is calling you. San Pedro is calling you. And if you are at Gaia Sagrada, this is a very special place to do this medicine. It's a safe place. It's a beautiful place. It's like Rivendell or something from Lord of the Rings. It's like forest and the most beautiful sky and stars, sunsets, there's dogs. I mean, there's hummingbirds everywhere. It's beautiful here. There's flowers, and you know, it's so comfortable. The grounds are comfortable. You have beautiful clean water and amazing food. I cannot think of a better place to do the medicine, especially for the first time. You know, and for people who are thinking like, should I go here? Should I go to the jungle? Like, if you're worried about getting really, you know, and this is definitely a place where you can come and feel really comfortable and safe, and step outside of that comfort zone, but also know that you have a safe container to explore the medicine, explore the universe, many universes. Yeah, this is the best thing that I've ever done for myself, hands down. I know that it's going to continue to be a blessing in my life. Because I'm not only going to get to come back here and continue working on the work exchange team, but also the changes in me are going to be a ripple in my life to the people that love me, and the better that I am, the better that my family and my friends, the more love that I'm able to give them through giving it to myself, the more I can actually make a change in the whole world by improving myself. And I can't imagine that anyone would ever regret coming here. It's so epic. One thing that I think some people talk about when they come, because, you know, a lot of people have experience with psychedelics, like mushrooms, acid, things like that. I think that it's, you know, great if you have those experiences, but you certainly don't need to have those experiences. And this is not a drug, it's a medicine. And that becomes very clear when you have your first ceremony, is this is medicine, and you can feel the difference in how it works between, you know, this and like something that you might take for recreation. The ceremonies here are very, I don't want to say serious because there are some fun times. Salvador is really funny. Christine is too. But the structure of the ceremony and the respect for the medicine is really intense and deep here. And it's not something that, you know, people take lightly, or that, you know, everyone's sitting around a fire like being disrespectful to the medicine. The way that the ceremonies flow and the songs and the fire and everything is done in a very controlled and prescribed manner, in a traditional manner, in your own style, as some person. But yeah, it's medicine, and you know, it's medicine for you, it can be medicine for your family when you take it, and medicine for the world if enough people keep coming down here and awakening to the potential of humans to be really, magical, loving, light-filled creatures. I love Gaia Sagrada!